And we are live.
Oh, huzzah!
Or you're watching this later, and we're no longer live.
We're now dead.
We didoed.
You are going to be very surprised at the end of this podcast.
Surprise.
Gone cold and so's my corpse.
Spoiler alert. We gonna commit triple suicide.
No laughs for my amazing Dido reference after you said we didoed. Damn. That's cold, Obi-Wan.
I'm sorry. I remember Dido, but I try to not remember Dido as much as possible.
Oh, I mean, she was a Phoenician queen originally, so it's not surprising that you don't remember her, as that would have been a couple thousand years ago. Really more like 3,000 years ago.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore, but I'll just smile and nod and go, uh-huh. Yeah.
You are very pretty. No,
Thank
really,
you.
your eye makeup looks wonderful tonight.
Thank you. I went crazy with the eyeliner because I needed to go quickly. So the best way to look put together in 2 minutes or less is go super heavy on the fucking top eyeliner.
Yep, you're not wrong.
Bam. Wings. Taylor Swift, bitch.
For me, it's, some eyeliner, concealer, and lip color is like, I don't have time for anything else.
Hey, yo. Oh, this is, good God.
What? Oh, the glare?
No, it's just so, look at it. This is where it should sit, and then just keep shifting. It's really troublesome, but I can't get it to stay.
You have ghosts. You have a ghost problem in your house.
I mean, whatever. Oh my God, you guys. I found out today that there is a traveling paranormal object museum that's making $6,000 on Patreon. That is so much money for bullshit that's not real.
I know, but I would totally pay to go see it.
Yeah, but some of these people are paying $250 a month to be on the board of directors or something. It's crazy.
Oh man, I wish I had $250 to pay for that so I could be on the board of directors and so I could take things and rub them on my butt and then send them in and be like, this thing was haunted. And then I would know people would be like, ooh, this haunted thing. And I'd be like, haunted by my butt.
Stay down. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm actually going to show you guys that Patreon at some point because clearly they're doing something right.
Right. Well, people love fucking haunted shit. How many goddamn TV shows are there on the Learning Channel now about ghost hunters?
It's true, but the really interesting part is they have 200 patrons and $6,000. It's a remarkable job they're doing on Patreon, honestly.
My God. I assume that people deep down would just want to believe that something lives on after we're dead, even if it's repetitively compelled to haunt a place. Doesn't sound like a great afterlife to me, but whatever. Some people actually would care if their relatives died. Oh, shit. We lost Amanda.
Well,
I'm here.
I was going to say, I think she's going to come back, yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we just can't see you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit, Amanda's a ghost!
Oh, she's all gone!
Amanda, a ghost, y'all! Don't go in
All
there,
of a sudden,
Amanda!
my camera just stopped working. It detects it. It's just not coming on because that's
unplug and replug.
I did.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm in IT now. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Let's see if I turn the camera off.
Also try leaving the Hangout and coming back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to get the audio ready and make the posts and stuff. So we got sidetracked by talks of paranormal bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, friend, where are you? There you is. Okay. Rissy. Oh, that's interesting.
What? What?
Hang on a second. The YouTube, like, the video's not working. Oh, nope, there it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
I was having the spinning.
Oh. Oh, my heart just stopped. Oh, there it goes. So how's married life?
Same as not married life.
Well, but you and Sean have finally been able to have sex.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's true. So yes, finally I am no longer virginal and pure.
Oh, that's you've been despoiled. Well,
and
that's nice.
Soon I will be with child. I can't even believe I said that with a straight face.
I know, right? Actually, it was pretty impressive, your lack of affect when you did it.
Oh, man. Yeah, we posted some things on Facebook, and somebody responded and was like, we posted a video from the wedding because we sang some songs, and those were kind of our vows and stuff. Because we do the music thing. Yeah, and so this older friend of Sean's commented and was like, oh, this video is so beautiful, and someday you will be able to share it with your children. I immediately texted Sean because it wasn't my friend, and I was like, here's what I want to send. Here's how I want to respond to her. And my suggestion was, we showed it to the cats. They didn't give a shit. And he did do something a little bit nicer than that, but in that same vein.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a picture of John sitting with Kitty, like kind of petting her, and I want to put it on his wall with a caption of, when dating a single mother, make sure you get to know her kid very well.
Yeah. Make sure you have a good relationship with her child. That's amazing.
Cats are way better than children, though. First of all, they'll never learn to talk.
I mean, mine are real chatty bitches when they're hungry, so...
Well, I mean, so they won't ever learn to speak English.
Yeah, I know.
And repeat the horrible things you say around them.
I don't know. My cats probably know the word cunt, and I just don't know it.
Right, cunt and cattish. But, like, they're so low maintenance. Like, even the highest maintenance cat is easier than the lowest maintenance toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine why anybody would actually want to have kids. I don't get that.
I mean, I get it. I just, like my tight vagina too much.
Right, yeah, there's that. Well, I get why the impulse to have children strikes people. Occasionally, I get a touch of it myself. But what I don't get is when presented with this squalling, horrible thing that's now giving you stress, urinary incontinence for life, why it's why we survived as a species. How do people not just immediately chuck it off a cliff? Like, oh, this thing won't fucking stop crying, and it shits everywhere, and it's totally useless. Look at those animals that we hunt. Those things immediately stand up after birth and are functional. Toss.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Really fucking weird.
Amanda appears to be back.
Yay, Amanda! Yay!
I am here now again.
Oh, Buffer just sent us an email. That email that post I just made apparently was our 1000th update with Buffer.
Oh, wow.
Killing it over here. What? Sorry. It's the little things in life. Well, Amanda, if we lose your video again after we've started, I would say if you can sneak away to restart at any point, then feel free. But if you just want to keep talking, we can probably deal with a blank screen just in case it happens in the middle of things, just so we know what the plan is.
Yeah.
we don't have to halt the podcast to decide, but so yeah. Okay, does everyone have their recording stuff open? And Rissy already checked her recording stuff. Like a responsible adult human.
All right, all right. It's amazing what Ritalin does.
Oh my god, my computer's going crazy. What the fuck? I just need GarageBand, y'all. Okay, there we go. So difficult.
All right.
Okay, saving as. What the fuck is today?
Very, very slow.
The internet is, or your just computer?
I think it's just my computer, because everything.
You have to ask them.
Okay. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay.
Oh man, the thumbnail looks like I'm showing off my engagement ring.
I mean, is that an accident?
Is it? I mean, it is gorgeous.
I don't know. Oh, I don't have anything there. Sorry.
Yeah, Rissy, the episode where you had just gotten it, you didn't talk about it, but Amanda and I knew you'd just gotten it, and I was doing
You were doing that the whole time.
I was doing the highlights video, and I was like, holy shit, this bitch was flashing it. It was just, like, the whole episode. It was like,
this is my ring. Ah, did you notice?
It was so stupid. I texted Amanda, and I was like, did you notice? And she was like, yeah, I noticed when we were doing it, and I don't notice much.
Well, proof is I never wear rings. Like, I can't remember the last time I actually wore a ring, so having this on, I'm perpetually like, oh, this thing is here. Oh, it's very pretty.
I wore fake engagement rings for so long that...
Oh, I remember. There was that one you threw at the convention. Like...
I don't remember that at all.
Somebody asked if you and Jeff were getting married because you had on an engagement ring, and you literally took it and threw it across the room and explained that it was a fake.
That sounds like a thing I would do.
It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
And it was one of those, like, you could tell everybody in the room was like, oh, God, are they about to have a fight? Oh, are they going to break up in front of us? Yeah. Oh, God. It was, yeah.
Oh, people. Everybody just calm down.
Yep. That was one of those back when we would have a thing at cons and we'd say, ask us anything. Remember that very smart decision of ours to do that?
Hey, it was a very smart decision.
It's true. I actually enjoy those quite a lot.
Well, that's good, because maybe we'll do some more of those in the future. But on the internet. I'm just saying. Okay. Does everyone have their audio recording up? Amanda, turn off your metronome.
Yes, I do.
It is off. Whether that means it will not...
Whether it'll stay off.
When I press record. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Yep.
Hitting record in 3, 2, 1. And we are recording. And does everyone have their show notes up?
Yes.
Yep.
God, Rissy, who are you?
Medicated.
Thank God for that. Okay, well, if everyone is good, I say we go ahead and start this fucking shit. What do you guys think?
What? Yeah!
I will take that as a yes.
Yeah. Might as well.
All right.
We're here.
Okay, let me pull up. Make sure everything that I need is pulled up. Okay, we are good, and I'm going to start here soon. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to episode 65 of the Dork Pridecast. My name is Blythe.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Rissy. We make up a comedy group called the Damsels of Dorkington, and this is our podcast, which is also funny depending on how much you like poop jokes and dick jokes, or if you are drunk, and if you drank so much that now you're having the whiskey shits, but they're coming out of your dick. Also, go to the doctor.
That is a different kind of whiskey dick than I'm used to.
Right? It's the whiskey shits dick.
That's terrible.
I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of medical condition that causes that for you to shit out your dick. It can happen to some women after giving vaginal birth, that they grow a dick and then shit out of it.
That is not true.
It's very true.
No.
I can tell you this for sure with my doctor's degree. That's not true. God, I feel like we need to make a shirt that says, I can tell you this for sure.
With my doctor degree. We really should. I mean, God, that thing was a goddamn gold mine. And sometimes I just think about, like, somebody turned that in expecting to get an A or the equivalent thereof. Somebody really thought this was good fucking writing. I have testes in the sides of my abs where a uterus should be.
Rissy,
I'm a cursed man.
Cursed man.
Rissy, will you just give a quick rundown of where that all came from? Because I don't know that we've ever discussed it. I think we just quote it all the time.
All the fucking time. All right.
I don't think we have actually really gone into.
This episode comes from when Amanda and I were interns in the same lab after our amazing Meet Cute story. And one of the great things about working for a really awesome, world-famous geneticist who teaches at local universities is that you get to TA his class, or so Amanda, you were a full TA, right? I just ended up grading papers. And the thing about our amazing scientist boss is that what he really wants to get through his students' heads is that when it comes to genetics and like genetic disorders and things like that, these, like a mutation in a gene can affect a real living, breathing human being. And these are people with hopes and dreams and families and that sort of stuff. And so at the end of every class, he assigns a creative essay. So people can pick from one of, 8 topics that are all about people and how they and their families deal with genetic disorders, that kind of stuff.
You quickly learn that, like, most people don't learn how to write ever.
Yeah. And also
write dialogue or anything, because it's just like, this is not. Have you read a book of fiction before? Because that's not how you do this thing.
Right. Have you ever spoken with another human being in your life?
Like, are you a Twitter bot that generated this?
A Twitter bot would have written a better story than a decent amount of the ones that. Yeah.
You're probably right. For like the level of writing skill, imagine prequels era George Lucas only deprived of oxygen for like a day. So yeah, oxygen deprived, brain damaged George Lucas. That's the quality of writing we're talking about. And we also learned that people, when confronted with the knowledge that they or someone they love have a genetic disorder, should immediately kill themselves. That is the only response.
I mean, that's like 50% of the time, that's the response that they had. It's just like, is that how you... I mean, obviously, that's not how you normally deal with things, because you're still alive, so you haven't...
It should also be noted that a great number of these people were pre-med. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hope you're not going into fucking genetic counseling. Well, madam, you have the BRCA1 gene, so in addition to a predisposition to breast and ovarian cancer, you should fucking kill yourself. Like, what the hell, people?
But those lines came from a particularly poorly written story.
That I had the privilege of being the first one to grade, and I was texting it to Amanda because I was at one university and she was back in the lab, and I'm like, oh my God, Amanda, you have to know about this. You will not believe what is happening in this essay right now. So the premise is that there's a young man and a woman. They've recently gotten married and started trying for a baby. They can't conceive, and it turns out she is infertile specifically because she has complete androgen insensitivity syndrome, which is what happens when you actually have an X and a Y chromosome. but your body does not have the receptors to properly process testosterone. So you develop externally as female, except that you have undescended testicles and no uterus or fallopian tubes or ovaries and things like that. This is more common than you would think, and generally goes undetected until a young woman misses her first period. But in the setup for the story, she'd been heavily involved in long-distance running. So she was very thin, and her lack of periods had always been attributed to that. So in addition to the murder-suicide that happens at the end of this story, in the rain, I might add... we get some of these amazing lines of dialogue. The woman goes to her physician to ask how he'd failed to notice this. First of all, she's like, why didn't you run any tests over me? And then he's like, oh, well, as it turns out, you're actually a man. What? No, that can't be. Nope, you are definitely a man. I can tell you this for sure with my doctorate degree, which is definitely something a medical professional would say to you, and not a hobo who'd wandered in to the hospital, stolen a medical coat, and was pretending to be a doctor. And then while writing a letter to her husband to explain her impending death, she describes herself as having testes in the sides of my abs where a uterus should be. I'm a cursed man.
Seems legit.
Right? And so basically we spent like an entire week laughing about this shit, and then had to deal with this idiot when they didn't get the grade that they wanted.
Well, of course.
It's like,
was this person a native English speaker? Because it always just reeked of like.
No, they weren't. ESL. They were not. They were Korean, non-native English speaker. However, what they said was they had gone to the English writing lab and had this looked over, like, what was it, 3 times that they said, Amanda? And I'm like, either you're lying, or
that's the only option, because I'm sorry, but people in the writing lab would know some really basic things that this person like fucked up in this story. It was just
right. They would be like, unless you're riffing on The Simpsons and the doctor character is based on Dr. Nick Riviera, I can tell you this for sure with my doctor degree. Not legit. So yeah, I think they just churned out a heap of shit and thought that because everyone dies at the end, that we would see it as poetic and beautiful and give them an A. LOL.
Jokes on them. Yeah, that was what everybody did.
Yeah.
Not the weirdest one that we read. We also had one that was basically stolen. They basically stole the plot of the B movie, where someone found out
they stole the plot from my sister. By Jodi Picoult and B movie and fused them together.
Yeah, right. It was, my parents had me because my older sibling needed a bone marrow transplant, so they had a baby, hoping that the baby, who is now me, would be a donor. And this affected them so much that they like cut their arm off to leave for their parents to extract bone marrow from, because that's how that works.
Right.
And then they ran away and fell in love with the bee. And in the thing that they turned in, they'd actually, one of the pages, they made it so it looked like it was covered in blood.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Did you say they ran away and fell in love with a bee?
That's where the B movie part comes in, yeah.
I thought you meant like a B movie, not like a B movie.
The B movie with Jerry Seinfeld, the one that I may have not been very nice to on that. Something I wrote, like one of my "That's not how you science."
Yes,
posts.
Because the youths are all up in the B movie butt memes.
Okay, I don't understand, and I have so many questions, but I feel like if I ask them, we're gonna be here on this topic for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, we probably would, because there's a lot of.
I think so. Yeah, Dr.
There's a lot of material there.
But my second favorite one will always be the woman who turned in. It was like a supposed to be like a sheet of newsprint, like the cover page of a newspaper with all these different stories, and one of them was, "What are your chromosome?" Question mark.
Yes.
What? I don't know. What are your chromosomes? And
Rissy,
like
Rissy took that quote and made me a whole like the Doge dog thing, like poster, which I still have at my desk to this day.
Oh, and there was something about like such gamete. Again, G-A-M-E-T, not G-A-M-E-T-E, gamete, such gamete. And I was like, wow, such gamete, much chromosome. Wow. We gave her a 0.
Oh my gosh. You guys.
We were power drunk, what could we say?
Yes, clearly.
Oh, shit.
You need to science
lazy
privilege.
sons of bitches. What are your chromosomes?
Oh my gosh. Well, hi. It's been 2 weeks since you looked at me. Sorry, couldn't help it. Since we've done a podcast.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I know how to hack your camera and turn it on, and I watch you when you pee.
My computer's not in the bathroom, so I'm not sure how that works.
Well, you don't always pee in the bathroom either, so...
It's true, there's all those potted plants and the litter box.
You also don't always shit in the bathroom, so
yeah,
you really
but the litter box is self-cleaning, so it makes sense. Cool.
Yep.
So, hi.
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 First things first, Halloween happened since the last time we podcast.
Oh yeah.
What did everyone do for Halloween?
I stayed at home.
Well, I mean, come on. What were you gonna do? Go trick or treating?
It's true, especially with my bomb leg.
If it was socially allowed, I'd go out and let people give me candy.
Yeah, but it's always so cold.
I know. It was really cold this year.
I think. That was nice. Yeah.
You did what, Rissy?
I spent most of the night dissociating, I think. That was good stuff right there.
Like on purpose?
Yeah, sometimes you're just like, I think I'm going to leave my body for a while.
You say sometimes
so we're back
you're like, but what I think you meant was sometimes I'm like, because I don't know that I've ever done that.
I mean, you develop it as a defense mechanism in response to horrifying childhood trauma. But later in life, you realize, like, sometimes I got some time to kill and I don't need to really be present.
I don't know what that's like, because my entire life is basically like, I have 12 things to do and only time to do 2 of them tonight. Which 2 am I picking? And then the number of things I have to do just keeps filling in.
Exactly.
So,
you'll never finish the list. So why not spend that time with some sweet, sweet dissociative action?
No, because then the list will just get longer. Even longer.
It never stops until you die.
Right. It never stops, but it does get larger. And that's what I'm trying to avoid.
We are seeing some core differences in the way that Rissy and Blythe deal with responsibilities.
What? No.
Well, by the evening, my Adderall has worn off, or my Ritalin, really. And so I'm just like, if I don't have anything like demanding my pressing attention, I'm just like, nah. I don't want to be left alone with my thoughts if there aren't other people around. That's weird.
What is it like to check out? Next time you do, can you call me so I can listen to it?
I mean,
probably be pretty quiet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to do what I can to live vicariously through her.
I mean,
hey, you got to live vicariously through my weirdness on Halloween night, if you recall.
Wait, go on.
You got to see it too. I had taken an Ambien that night. And then
God, yes! Jesus Christ!
Up, and then
poor Amanda.
The next morning, I found 5 or 6 videos totaling over 11 minutes of me filming a stepladder that was nearby because I was pretty sure it was moving. but not when I looked right at it.
Oh, of course not.
So, yeah. And one of them I'm narrating in it very quietly what I am seeing. But yeah, that was fun. And I sent one of them to the ladies and was like, here, like, be careful watching this because it's going to be pretty scary. There's like a goblin in it.
Yeah, and I was just like, what?
Like, when I first started watching it, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then I realized, nothing. Literally.
I assumed that there would be something about Amanda narrating it that would be really scary. And I mean, I've had the ambient madness. I've been there, man. Like, you see shit and it is scary as fuck. That's why when my roommate was like, we should do some LSD, but I'm worried about us being unsupervised, I was like, I can handle my shit no matter how scary what we see is because of the shit I'd seen on Ambien. So
that's like with Ambien, at least, like, I'm aware that I'm hallucinating, and it's one of those, like, I mean, like, I knew that the ladder wasn't moving, but also, like, it kind of looked like it, so maybe if I film it and be like, no, it's totally, but so yeah, I have like 11 minutes of really boring footage on my phone.
I will say,
it's amazing.
There was one, like, between two rungs, there did kind of appear to be like a face behind, like,
yes,
there was the ladder.
That was the goblin.
No, I'm not saying there was a face. I'm saying that something that was beyond the ladder, sort of, like, because it was hazy and it was way behind. It was in the dark, and so, like, it looked like it could be, like, misconstrued for some kind of a face. I'm not saying there was a face there, Rissy. Who are you even talking to?
It was a bag. There was a bag with this, like, circle logo on it that was peeking out, and the way that, like, it was like one of those, folded. Like, I had no idea at the time what it was, but it was just like, that kind of looks like a goblin face staring at me. Stop staring at me, goblin.
Oh, and you've already watched that
videotape you too.
That Turn on the Lights, that short horror movie where the person keeps switching the lights on and off, and the lights keep going on and off, and there's like a shadow and it's moving closer and closer, and it turns out to be a creepy goblin face.
I showed that one to you.
Yeah, you did.
And I talked about it like a few podcasts ago.
Yeah, I still think about it.
We did.
Clearly.
That fucking thing. Why do I love scary shit so much?
Yeah, luckily nothing actually moved. I don't think.
No.
That night.
See,
but
you're lucky though. Like, being able to realize that you are hallucinating. The first couple of ambient hallucinations I had, I didn't realize that I was, and I ended up just falling asleep. But I'm like, my clothes are trying to kill me.
That's so interesting.
Well, I have allegedly done mushrooms back in the day, so I'm kind of familiar with the way that things look when you're, I know one time with the Ambien really kicking in, I sat there in my dark room, my phone lit up, and I was just waving it back and forth because I was getting like the weird tracers and just like, that's cool as shit. Like, I know I am hallucinating, like, I'm tripping balls, but man, that's pretty cool looking. I should probably go to sleep. So,
see, what you should be filming is yourself reacting to things that you're seeing.
I mean, that would be more interesting for other people, but at the time, I really wanted to catch that goddamn ladder moving. Pretty sure it was.
That is so interesting because I've never really hallucinated.
Oh, you're missing out.
Well, I had a bad trip when I took. Well, I've told this story on a couple of occasions.
The edibles,
but yeah, I had a bad trip when I took some edibles a couple of years ago. But I wasn't really hallucinating. I was just like confused, and I thought I was like trapped inside of my own head. But I wasn't really seeing things that didn't exist.
It sounds like you were more in a K-hole kind of thing.
I don't know what that means, so I'll take your word for it.
K-hole is something that happens to people who are using ketamine, hence the use of the term K.
That makes sense. Although, I will say, I just got done listening to a 2-part podcast by Ono, Ross, and Carrie, who I really love. And they went to this retreat for, I don't know if you guys have heard of holotropic breathing.
No, this sounds like hippie nonsense.
Well, it is hippie, but it's not nonsense, actually. Apparently,
my skeptical pursed lips.
That's fine. You can purse your lips. I am a skeptically minded person. You can trust me. I will also tell you, but like, don't be so skeptical or of someone you know is skeptical. They are a skeptic podcast, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The whole tagline is like, we try the weird stuff so you don't have to. And
actually, that sounds like an awesome podcast.
They don't say the weird stuff. They say we try it. So I don't know. They've done religious things, but they also do things like this holotropic breathing, and they've done like the foot kinesthesiology. That's not the right word.
Oh,
yeah,
reflexology.
Use.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
and
they've
done
like every part of the foot corresponds to some part of your full body. Yeah.
Right. And they've done like cryogenic treatments or whatever.
Like where they have their parts frozen off?
No, but when you go into you do like the cold therapy, it doesn't.
That sounds terrible.
It's horrifying. Anyway,
I will say that like being put in a saline bath where you float on top of it in a sensory deprivation tank is fucking awesome.
I think I'd be freaked out.
That's
but
warm.
That
anyway, this breathing thing.
I would like to try it. But yes,
breathing.
Holotropic breathing. You are literally like just basically making yourself hyperventilate, like on purpose.
Like light as a feather, stiff as a board shit?
Sort of. And what they theorize is that like you're either getting too much or too little carbon dioxide. I can't remember. And you have like these like weird, trippy, like dreamy sort of visions, but you're awake. And they were like, it started to work like really quickly. Like we were seeing weird, crazy, weird, crazy bullshit. And I was like, I kind of want to try this.
There are way better ways to hallucinate than fucking up gas content.
But my problem is if I take a drug and I'm like, whoa, I freak out and I'm like, no, I don't want any more part of this. I can't stop the drug, but I can stop doing this weird breathing method.
If it doesn't fucking kill you first.
It doesn't. They literally do it. They like do it for like a couple of hours. It doesn't kill you. It's nothing like. You shouldn't do it.
I remember kids in high school that would do like they'd bend over and hyperventilate, then stand up and
you'd fake. I did that shit. Well, not in high school, in like grade school and.
I thought you were gonna say like yesterday.
I did that yesterday, you guys. It was so great. Come over to my house and we'll use a Ouija board and contact the spirits, and then we'll play light as a feather, stiff as a board, and then we'll make each other faint. It'll be great.
And then we push our arms against a doorway really hard for 30 seconds.
And then they'll just like
float up.
Yes, no.
Kids are fucking idiots. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway, so yeah, hallucinogens, guys. Hey, guys, I don't know if you know this, but it's fucking Amanda's birthday. I forgot that we mentioned it before we started recording, so I was like, oh shit, we got to mention it now. Amanda, happy birthday.
Yeah.
How's your day been? Normal?
Yeah.
Have you had cookies?
I did. I told you. Just let me tell my own story. Stop ruining the punchline, bitch. So my first present was an email. I told you guys about this already. An email from a local plastic surgeon for 10% off Botox if I do it in the next 30 days.
How nice.
So that was pretty exciting.
That is fucking savage.
Right. Yeah. Like, but you better do it now because Jesus Christ, you're getting fucking old is what they're saying. So that was fun. Then when I got home, I had a package waiting for me, and inside it, I don't know if you can see what this says on the top.
Oh, we can
but
see.
It says cookies by design.
Oh,
and
yes.
Cookies. There's cookies. There's not as many cookies in here as there were when I got home, but there's still some.
I expect nothing less. I'm surprised there's even some left. So.
Yeah.
I was trying to be responsible. I made myself eat dinner after only the first 2 cookies.
Well,
yeah.
I believe you have
But then,
another birthday present.
I do. I've had this package for a week now that I haven't been allowed to open. And she said I have to wait until the podcast to open it.
All the dicks are going to fly out. Oh, I spoiled it.
Damn it, Rissy.
What did we just say?
We genetically engineered you some flying dicks.
So, it's a little thin.
They're just compressed for being in storage.
Oh, will they like spring up and? Well, I
yeah.
mean that's a little excessive. Maybe not that, but.
Hung like a baby, 8 pounds, 6 ounces.
If you're listening to this later, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that's all that crinkly was me ripping open the bag, and I'm pulling out. Oh, there's elephants on them. They're pillow covers.
Yeah.
Look at the little elephants. They're green and they're cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open this
open
away
it
from
up
the microphone.
See the whole thing.
And for those of you who are just listening, the dicks have elephants on them.
Dicks, yep.
So many flying dicks.
Look, there's like one little baby. There's a little baby elephant. It's so cute.
It is so cute.
It. Thank you.
So here's the thing.
Put pillows in these, and then I'm gonna cuddle them. Okay, sorry.
No, so here's the thing. I am horrible at gift giving. And it stresses me out when gift giving occasions arrive. I panic. I cannot think of anything that a person likes or would want. And I shut down. And it's horrible. And so I, many years ago, learned that I need to stop trying to give gifts during gift-giving occasions. And so what I've done for the last few years is if I happen to see something that screams, oh, this person needs this, then I will pick it up. But other than that, I will not place any stress on myself. A couple years ago, there was a Kickstarter for these like Tron dice, and I did that for Rissy.
You did, and they're great.
And then, weirdly enough, I don't know, this one just lined up really nicely, but on Amazon, it was like, check out these cool items. And I was like, I don't know why I'm clicking on this link. I didn't have your birthday in mind at all, but I clicked on the fucking link. I was like, all right, Amazon, show me what you think is cool and I'll be the judge. And then there were those pillow covers and I was like, well, not only is it elephants, there's a baby elephant, and not only is there a baby elephant, but they're all in the tealy green. I was like, well, Amanda has to have this. Like, this is hot. So anyway, happy birthday.
Yay. Thanks. I like them.
Good.
They're cute.
I apparently also, when I was purchasing this, I was like, oh, these will make such cute accent pillows. And then I was like, oh God, I just said accent pillows. Oh God. So
pretty soon you're going to get one of those haircuts that says, can I speak to your manager?
Oh God, no, never. Not now, not ever.
When is the first of your 5 children arriving, Blythe?
Oh God, the second Tuesday of next week.
You work fast. Yeah.
Well, whatevs.
Yeah. Also, I am getting some shit from the chat about my acting like it's a weird thing that dicks might be expandable.
Wait, Leaf just mentioned Fasky and I. Oh my God.
Yep.
They were one of my very first, back in much earlier days when I would write letters to the podcasts for Blythe and Amanda to read. I wrote all about them, about Fosky and I, and yeah. So that's very awesome that you bring
Which I refuse to pronounce correctly, even though she provided me with a pronunciation guide. I was like, nah.
Like, yes, in English we pronounce them fascinate, but that is not how the Romans would have pronounced those fucking consonants. Anyway, yes, we've been down that road.
Don't care, nerd.
Yes, I'm the nerd here.
I mean,
yes, that's what I just said.
You are.
Actually, Amanda, speaking of elephants and nerdery, did you see the thing about paper on the pseudogene that elephants use to help all their copies of P53 genes prevent cancer despite having 3 trillion bajillion million cells?
I mean, that's not that many cells.
That's some cells.
Billion, bajillion, trillion.
Is this
like more than 7.
new? I thought that was.
But
well, are the details new? Because I thought we already kind of knew that was a thing.
This is a new detail that emerged. So the original, so P53 is the tumor suppressor gene that it turns out elephants have a kabillion copies of. Cool. But then it turns out, so there are these things we have called pseudogenes in our genome, which they used to be genes, but then something happened, they got damaged in some way, and so they're just kind of hanging out.
That's not how they arose, but go on.
I mean, depends on the fucking pseudogene. Sometimes it's just their start codon getting caught up somehow.
Nope, that has a specific definition. But go on, tell us about elephants.
Anyway, I know them mostly from our immune system, but there's a pseudogene in elephants that got resurrected, so a zombie gene that it looks like it's dead, but it's actually got a promoter sequence that's just really far away from it, meaning basically a thing that makes that gene start expressing protein. So this gene called Life6, as it turns out, is regulated by P53 in elephants and some of their relatives, like hyraxes and shit. And as it is part of how the elephants basically induce their cells to kill themselves at the slightest whisper of cancer.
So the theme for tonight's podcast is suicide and killing oneself, maybe just a cell at a time, but...
Lol, kill yourself. Advice that elephants took deeply to heart.
I just want to point out, while we're back on the topic of killing selves and how we keep going back to that, Jason suggested that we reenact the story from the I could tell you this for certain with my doctor degree. And I've got to say, that's pretty brilliant. We should totally do reenactments of all of your favorite...
Oh, God, like a sketch?
Yeah, for sure. We should make videos of that. I'm not even kidding. Let's do it.
Oh, man, can we all dress up like Newsies from the musical Newsies and be like, we gotta get these papers out. Extra, extra, what are your chromosome?
I'm sorry, did you say Newsies from the musical Newsies? As if the musical Newsies created the concept of what a newsie is?
I meant that type of fashion.
Sure, whatever.
You're adorable.
We could do them in all kinds of different styles, honestly.
Oh God, these would be fucking amazing. I want to play the doctor.
I want to play the bee.
That's hot.
I'll be the arm.
Amanda, that makes you the one-armed man.
Yep.
No, I just want to be the arm.
Just the arm. Hot and fresh, full of bone marrow.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So thank you to everyone in the chat. It has been hopping tonight. And there's a couple people in here that we have not seen before. So welcome to our newcomers. We do this every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock Central.
Wednesday.
That's true. 8 o'clock Central time. We're here on YouTube. So if you're listening to this later and next week you want to join us, we'll be here. Probably.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
but in 2 weeks, maybe not, because that'll be right before Thanksgiving. So that'll be.
I mean, I've got the day off, so I'm willing to be here. I'm not leaving town for Thanksgiving. So
yeah, I'm going to a Friendsgiving.
See, that's my family holiday. So I will be
driving
at my mom's.
Okay.
I'll probably be there by then. So that could be fun.
Oh yes,
I
and
may
like
bring
make
my
sure to set up
stuff
some
and we'll just
speakers
see
to
how it
blare
goes.
stuff out. Yeah, to your mom, like to your
Yeah,
family.
no, it will be like. So then I did the. Then I did the fuck shit was the quote that I just to demonstrate.
That's the thing that we
how
say
normal,
all the time.
How normal people make words. Because I'm good at making words like normal people.
We've always said that about you.
Yep.
Amanda's good at making words like normal people.
I
can tell you this.
One of our friend humans, she is good at making words like normal people.
I can tell you this for sure with my doctorate degree.
Bitch, back off my
I'm
part.
pretty sure that was like the first line that I had on my dating profile on OkCupid was like, I am good at making the words like normal people.
It's pretty great.
Yep.
Did you got Extra Life? Are you guys familiar with Extra Life?
Nope.
I am aware of it. Yes.
I guess I'm not super surprised.
Like,
it's more of a video game thing, typically.
And I assume not like video games from 1992.
No, it can be video games from whenever the fuck you want.
But I mean, is it commonly associated with that? I don't even know what it is, so.
Yeah, exactly. Stop talking.
Maybe don't be so judgy until you know what it is.
So, Extra Life is a 24-hour charity event that, Extra Life is a charity. And so they put on this yearly 24-hour event where people all across the world, I guess, raise money and they game for 24 hours and you can do whatever you want. And now with live streaming, like everybody's doing it because it's just so easy to live stream whatever the fuck games you want to do. But some people, like there's other like groups that will do, rather than doing it at home, they will actually put on their own Extra Life event. So Sean and I got invited to play at an Extra Life event last Saturday? Yeah, it was last Saturday. So this group called Heroic Inner Kids is a group here in Dallas, and they fundraise, and they were, the charity they chose was like a local children's hospital here. But that's the thing is it's almost always, I think it's almost always for children's hospitals. And so it's a gaming thing, and they donate money to children's hospitals. And a lot of times that will go towards purchasing like games and things to entertain kids who are in hospitals for long periods of time and who are stuck there and they don't get to live their normal life and be kids. So, Extra Life helps them to have fun and good entertainment inside of the hospital when they're stuck there with really shitty diseases and things. And so that happened. And so this weekend was the Extra Life event. Like I said, Sean and I, we played a set of nerdy songs. Aww. And then we got asked to be on a match game panel. So that was fun. And first,
how does it work?
You don't know what match game is?
No.
I don't understand. You're older than me. Sean didn't know what it was either. And I was shocked I was having to explain it to him. Match game is one of those old game shows. And what they did was they had a bunch of celebrity panelists, basically, and then 2 contestants that were just normies. Yeah, that's right. I said it. But so so the host will read this this prompt, basically, and there's a blank in it, and you have to fill in the blank. So it would be like, dumb Dora is so dumb. How dumb is she? She went out in the rain without her blank. And so, Amanda, stop wrestling. So
I'm sorry. I'm totally not getting another cookie.
Right.
Tell it to the judge.
Obviously, like the best blank is going to be like umbrella or galoshes, maybe, if you're, I don't know, or raincoat. Like, so there's like different options that you can choose, but the contestants choose and the panel chooses, and it's often like there's usually some comedic people, and so sometimes they will be like, she went out in the rain without her rubbers or something, which is accurate but also funny.
This is like, so it's sort of like the concept behind Family Feud. You see how well your answer syncs up to other people's answers.
Sure, but Match Game was like from the 50s or 60s. It's one of the old school, like.
I guess the Family Girls made fun of it when Blanche chimed in. It was better late then, and Blanche goes, pregnant.
That sounds right.
I fucking love the Golden Girls.
So, yeah, so that was fun. We got to be on a panel for that. The theme of the night was butts for me. Like,
damn, that's awesome. I bet you like kicked ass.
Oh no, that was my theme. Like anytime my answer could involve butts in any way, shape, or form, it did.
It would.
Yeah.
Do they get more points for matching your answer?
Yeah, that's how you get the points.
Okay.
Is the contestants give their answer, and then they get points for each answer that they match with one of the celebrity panelists. Like, we're not playing. It's the contestants. So that was really fun and silly, and they live streamed everything basically. So that was, it was fun. And then guys, because we talked about this on the podcast, after we were done with all of our like requirements there, we sat down and we played a game of the Oregon Trail card game.
Oh yes, how was it?
It was weird and really easy to die.
Well, yeah.
And it was not, the wording of some of the cards was a little like, I don't know what they're going for here, so we're just going to make a house rule basically that says this, because this wording sucks. But it's also like the game kind of goes on forever, and like somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
And we actually, in fact, when we picked it up, somebody warned us. She was like, "You're not gonna win that game," and we were like, "Okay, all right, why not?" But we did, in fact, win the game. Although it's a weird game where like you get to decide when the game is over, so that was a little strange. But because there's no board, it's literally just cards. So they were like, put the start card here and the end card approximately 3 feet away. Now try to get there. And you're like, what? Okay.
Sounds like old first edition Magic cards.
It was
throw
really
this card on top of a bunch of other cards.
Yeah, it was a little strange. But I will say, like, it was fun, and we had a good time with it. It just yes, I would definitely recommend playing with some people who are just not taking it too seriously, because if you take this one too seriously, people are going to get upset. But if not, it's pretty fun. So that was my last weekend. What about you guys? Has anybody done anything interesting in the last 2 weeks?
I read some books. Amanda did too. Some of the books have been the same, so Amanda should go first.
You guys had a fucking book reading party and didn't tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so this was a suggestion. This was a suggestion back on episode 61, which was the one, Blythe, where you weren't here. It was just Rissy and me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the topics somebody had suggested was the Broken Earth series. It was Zachary Drake. Asked, like, hey, you guys should talk about this. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And Rissy said it was what did you say? Marvel.
I said if the 90s X-Men cartoon and Toni Morrison's Beloved had a baby.
Yes. And I was like, well, I'm definitely reading that because that sounds amazing. And I read it. I'm now on the third one because I tore through the first two. Yeah, because they are fucking amazing.
They really are.
And they're very good. Yeah, it's like sci-fi fantasy written by someone who actually understands science. And there are like gay and transgendered characters who are just characters. They're not like the cartoonish, like, here's the gay person, here's the gay one, and here's the transgendered one, and here's the, whatever. Like, it's just it shows and like a spectrum of sexuality and gender identity and race and all sorts of things. And it's just the way that it's done is very, like, it's not like it's pandering or anything like that. It's just like, here's what fantasy would look like if it's not written by an old racist white man with multiple R's in his initials. That could be multiple people.
Yeah, that
I'm referencing there. But they're very good, and I kind of got sucked into them, and I haven't done a lot of sleeping, but that's okay because reading is fundamental, or something. Yeah. Unfortunately, reading these won't earn me a free personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. But
oh man, that book it was awesome!
I love Book It. I had so many Book It buttons.
Oh yeah, I got so many, like, because it's like, I'm good. Joke's on you fuckers! Like, I'm reading this shit anyway.
Yeah, this was just gonna be my summer.
If you're gonna give me free pizza, then I'll do that too.
You know, it was just a ploy to get your parents to buy pizza, right?
I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
Okay, you say joke's on you, but really, joke was on your parents.
Well, I mean, the joke was on them in the first place for deciding to have kids.
You're not wrong. Yeah. Yikes.
Oh gosh. I can't wait for one of us to slip up and get pregnant and then be like, oh, fuck you. You're out of the group forever.
Yeah, but I mean, I already had an abortion. What?
Also, Amanda already has a child. That was the joke there, Rissy.
Oh,
You are so goddamn pretty, Rissy. So pretty.
Oops. Oh, well. I trust our fans. I know they're great people, and I feel comfortable talking about my very intimate experience shitting out a 6-week fetus.
Clearly. Also, that's not how you shit.
No, for me it is. I have that whiskey dick shits problem.
If you are shitting out your vagina, you need to see a doctor like a decade ago.
No, I have a dick I shit out of.
All right, sorry.
Only
You're
when
right.
I'm really drunk, though.
What was I thinking? Oh, man. Y'all are a mess.
So that's going to do it for this episode. No.
Hashtag Dork Pride chat. Tell us about your experiences with abortion. What alien organism would you abort if you were impregnated by it?
All of
Hashtag
them?
All of them? All of them.
Really? What about Worf?
No.
Yes. I would definitely abort that.
Klingons are gross and weird, and they sexually harass you at conventions.
Also, the ridges, I feel like, would be hard to
C-section
pass.
for sure.
Okay, what about if you had
that's the way to
Data's
go.
half android baby? If you could have that.
That makes no
I
sense.
don't think you understand how androids really work. That's not.
Do androids dream of electric sperm?
If it's half android, doesn't that really just make it a cyborg?
Yes, exactly. So like Data's android sperm swim in and they impregnate they fertilize your egg and then the baby turns into a cyborg. Science.
Rissy, you've studied meiosis. You know that's not how it works.
Yeah, I know, but a girl can dream. Data is by far the
that's true.
most, reasonable choice to reproduce with on the crew of the Next Generation Enterprise. There's nobody on the original Enterprise I would reproduce with.
What? Seriously?
Like, actually have a baby with? Fuck no! Any kid of Spock's is gonna have, like, 8 bajillion issues. Scotty, genetic alcoholism. Like, that's gonna be a huge problem. Bones would want to
Rissy, stop being racist.
I'm racist against Scottish people.
He hasn't even gotten to George Takei yet.
Right? I mean...
what
yeah,
about
Janice
Uhura?
Rand?
Ha.
Oh, actually, okay, I would have... What?
Do you see the chat? Do you see what Josh said in the chat? Rissy, know it's hot? Voyager.
Abort all of the things.
Oh no, Tom Silk says he knows someone who dated Brent Spiner and that he was kind of full of himself. That is not surprising, but still upsetting.
Yeah, but if he was full of himself, then hopefully he got it all out of his system onto someone. So he would be less full of himself.
I don't think that's how that works, honey.
Sperm. Androids.
Vaginas.
Sperm goes in, sperm comes out. You can't explain that.
You can't explain it.
Can't explain that.
Never a miscommunication. Yeah.
Did you guys want to talk more about that book? How did we even get here? I don't know what happened. Speaking of dissociation.
Oh, I had other books to talk about because I've actually read quite a few books recently. If you wanted a topic that's not,
I mean, please tell us what you're reading.
So I read recently the second book in the Broken Earth series. I need to get the third one. And then I read a book called Borderline, which is the first book in a series called The Arcadia Project by Michelle Baker. And it is about a woman who, she has borderline personality disorder, which is not a sympathetic mental illness, in that basically people with borderline, usually women, are portrayed as like fucking crazy bunny boilers. It's what
basically
I read was,
Rebecca Bunch from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
yes, yeah,
pretty good representation of someone with
BBD,
borderline personality disorder.
Yeah. But the stereotypes are both accurate and not accurate. So what I had read was that this book treats the main character in a very accurate way. And so I was really curious to see, basically the premise is this is a woman who'd been a very talented film student and had a career as an independent film director. And then she had an affair with one of her professors and ended up trying to kill herself by throwing herself off a fucking building. She survived, but loses both of her legs.
More suicide references.
Yes!
Yay!
And then she's living in a psychiatric facility, and she's contacted by a representative of the Arcadia Project, which is an organization in LA that manages contact between the human world and the world of the fairy courts, the seelie and unseelie. And
okay, I'm done then.
Yeah,
I'm
that
done
sounds
with this.
horrible.
yeah, I know, dude. So
terrible.
the thing is, like, I
was
agree.
with you until then.
Me too.
Yeah, so the portrayal of the main character.
So Laurel K. Hamilton, is that who wrote this, you said?
No, Michelle Baker. So the portrayal of the main character was fantastic. They did a really good job of making her thoroughly unlikable, but not unsympathetic, which is incredibly difficult, especially for a female protagonist. Like, she is a very sick person. And her kind of struggles and how she tries to manage her mental illness. That is incredibly well written. But yeah, can I just request of the world of fantasy writers that we put a fucking moratorium on Celtic fairy nonsense garbage for like 10 years or something? Because I'm so fucking sick of, and there's a portal to the realms of the Fae, and there's the Seelie Court with the Summer King and the Winter Queen, and there's the Unseelie Court, which is basically like fairies, but they're not good looking. Woo!
Do you know how we could put a moratorium on that sort of deal?
Stop buying them.
Yeah, stop fucking reading them, Rissy.
Well, the thing is, I get attracted to these books for other reasons. Like, so Borderline, it was my interest in seeing I'd read so many good things about the depiction of, a character with a very serious mental illness that can't be cured, only managed, and in a fantasy setting. So I was really curious, and not one that's generally sympathetically depicted in fiction. The closest thing I can think of is Winona Ryder's character in Girl Interrupted has borderline personality disorder, but she never actually behaves as though she does, aside from having been institutionalized as a result of a failed suicide attempt. It is true that BPD people kill themselves at about 10%, which is an insanely high rate.
That is crazy.
So that's kind of, and then the other fairy book I read somewhat recently had to do with...
Wait, you read another fairy book?
Rissy. Well, this was some months ago, but it was about like two sisters who are the victims of an abusive narcissistic parent. And the fairy connection is this, I'll admit, this was actually a really cool concept. It's like a fantasy dream summer camp for really talented artists and creative people, and you go there and you can be like mentored by somebody in your field. It's basically like getting a fellowship, and of course there are accesses to the world of fae because they feed on creative energy or whatever. So here's the thing, I wouldn't mind fairy stories if it wasn't all the fucking same. You've got the Sealy Court, which is full of very pretty creatures that are undependable and flighty and completely amoral, obsessed with sex and shit glitter everywhere. And then you have the Unseelie Court, which is full of gross leprosy bug monsters that just want to drain your life force. And it's always the goddamn same. The same fucking thing every goddamn time. I will say, so like, I would put Borderline in, I've read 3 books that had, within the last, let's say like the last 2 years, that have some connection to the world of fae. I would put Borderline squarely in the middle, but that's entirely because of the main character. I would have been much happier if it had been like a, I don't know, just a cheap X-Files knockoff or something and not involved with fairy. Like, also the climax was really rushed and shit. I don't know how this book was up for a World Fantasy Award, is all I can say. I'm like, really? This fucking book? At the absolute bottom of the scale is Roses and Rot, which is the summer camp with fairies for creative people, because I did enjoy the kind of abuse angle and where that would lead a person if they were very creative and whatnot. But it literally contained the phrase, he's my boyfriend and also the king of fairy.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
I was like, I cringed for the author at that. I was like, oh, honey, no. Why you wrote that, and it's been published, so it will never go away. Everyone will know that you wrote that. Is that your real name that you wrote under? Because Jesus fucking Christ, I would commit seppuku if I'd written that sentence, you know, after I was 13 years old. And then in the top is a book I can recommend without any reservations. It's actually more about Grimm's fairy tales, although some things with fairies do kind of get involved, but it's more tangential. It's called The Uncertain Places, and it's like a really awesome book that has an incredible mindfuck ending that I totally did not see coming. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, The Uncertain Places, way better than either of those. Borderline's the first book in a series. I don't think I'll read any of the rest of them because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this fucking fairy crap. So I'm like, please, fiction writers, do something else. Like anything else.
You know, there's a lot of fiction writers out there that are doing something else.
Well, yes, they are, but like anyone who, okay, fiction writers who are considering involving the world of the she in your fiction, don't fucking do it. First of all, why would fairies be attracted to our realm when the core of the planet is literally their most hated weakness? Like, iron. Our planet is full of shit that fairies hate. Why are they here? Oh, they feed on our creative energy. Like, there's no other fucking alien planets out there that are just based on silicon that don't require iron in their blood to do all sorts of shit. Like, being around human beings, or really most forms of mammalian life, would be incredibly toxic for your average fae. What are they doing here at all?
That's what I've always said about fairy books and shit.
Like, so, yeah, just fuck all that garbage. It's so fucking tropey, and it's always, I am dating a boy, but he is actually the Summer King. Oh no, what does this mean for our relationship? Like, really? this motherfucker is like the king of an extra dimensional realm and he has enough time to just jack off and be your boyfriend. Like, usually being a king requires, like, you know, especially in an absolute monarchy. This isn't like he's the figurehead of Sweden or some shit. Like, he actually has to do shit. And yet, here he is, like, I guess I'll just be this girl's boyfriend. On your face.
Okay, are we going to
Those
talk
are the
about
books that I read.
fairy sperm next? Is that the next?
It glows.
Sperm?
No.
Okay, great. Sounds delightful.
And then I started another book called The Warded Man by Peter Brett, I think is his name.
Is it also a fairy book?
Fuck no, thank God. It's actually a kind of combination of fantasy horror where the humans in this civilization are dwindling because every night fucking demons come out of the ground to fucking kill and eat you. And they had been gone for a long time, but now they're back, and the only refuge is to, like, put wards, these, like, magical wards on structures. And so it's basically about, like, well, can't we do anything to fight the demons? No, sorry, kids. We tried that thousands of years ago, and it totally didn't work, so all we can do is hide in the fucking shed. What if the shed burns down? Well, then we all die.
Sound like people that deserve to die. Oh, we tried that a few thousand years ago, and it didn't work. Maybe try it again. Maybe make some changes and...
Well, it's not like people ever stopped truly trying. It's just everybody who has tried has, you know, died horribly because they were eaten by demons.
Yeah, well, they probably deserved it.
So, but I'm actually enjoying this thus far, and there's like zero fae. So yeah, if you're out there and you're thinking, I would love to write a book with fantasy elements, don't put the goddamn fae in there, unless it's like the cat shit fairy, whose job it is to just kind of clump around. And he springs forth from litter boxes and then ends up on your floor, and you have no idea how that happened. No way the cat flung him.
Are you trying to explain why you have kitty litter all over your floor? Because
no,
nobody
I know why
believes
I
it
have
was a
kitty litter
fairy.
on the floor. My cat.
It's the cat.
Okay.
It's the cat fairy. The kitty litter
Okay.
cat poop fairy. Duh. Everybody knows.
That's the only kind of fairy I would read about right now. I'm so fairied out. Fuck all that garbage.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. In non-fairy media we consumed, has anyone watched Stranger Things 2?
Not yet. I don't have internet at home.
Amanda watched it. What did you think
Yes.
without giving spoilers?
I like the end when this thing happened. This specific thing that spoils it for everyone. So this isn't spoil. There's like kind of an epilogue bit at the very end, because it's like, you know, there's like, you get some semblance of resolution of some stuff, and then there's like a 1 month later, here's stuff that happens. I had actually like stopped watching at that point because I had to go do something and came back, and I was assuming that there was like at least another episode, and came back and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finish this in like 20 minutes, and oh no, that was the end. I should have just stayed and finished it all. It's like I stopped it in the middle of the episode. It's like, I really gotta go, but I want, like, oh, this is kind of, seems like a good pausing point. Well, yeah, because it was basically the end.
The end, yeah.
But yeah, it was enjoyable though.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I've got to say, you guys, this is also why I should not have a child. I have zero patience for teen angst.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like,
yeah,
even if it's like understandable, justifiable, like feelings and emotions, but because it's a teenager, it's a little over the top just because it's a teenager. I have no sympathy. I lose my shit, and I'm like, no, fuck you. Pull your shit together, you fucking asshole. And so there were definitely a couple of moments in this season where I was like,
and I feel like this is a show that like does that better than a lot. Like they don't go to like super.
Oh, it's me. This is me. I am the problem here. There's no question. But yeah, there were definitely a couple moments where I was like, I fucking hate you right now, character I absolutely loved 1 season ago. But no one else seems to be having that problem. And luckily those moments were relatively short-lived, except for one character who kind of, again, sort of understandably went on like an entire arc of like rebellion and angst. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so not into this. But eventually, I got over it. But that was really my only complaint. And I know that one's about me, not about them and their show and their writing. So I was pretty happy with it. So.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I still have the issue where, like, Winona Ryder is always just Winona Ryder playing a role. Like, I can't see her as anything. Yeah, like, I can't see her as anything other than herself. Regardless of, like, how good or bad it is, it's always... I'm always aware that it's like, you are Winona Ryder. Okay, go. I don't know. So that's my only thing, and that was for the first season too, and obviously that's just me and not the show. So
God, having internet at home is going to be amazing again. Can't fucking wait.
Someday. Oh, I don't know if I've mentioned this previously, but I binged The Good Place in like 1 or 2 days.
I've heard amazing things about it.
Guys, go watch it. Kristen Bell is a fucking national treasure.
Is it Ted Danson?
Yeah, and honestly, Ted Danson, also kind of a national treasure. I've loved Ted Danson in a lot of things in the course of my life. But yeah, it's really great. And the entire first season is on Netflix right now. And it twisted on me pretty hard. And when it did, I was delighted. So stick with it if you're kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. Just stick with it and see how you feel when the twist comes. Because
I like a good twist.
It's a good... You'll know like when that happens whether you're into it or not. But I'm super excited because Jason Mantzoukas is apparently on season 2.
Oh yes.
I love Jason Mantzoukas.
He's amazing. Yeah, okay, that's another point in its favor. But yeah, I've heard nothing but really, really good things about The Good Place.
It's great. So
I've not even heard of it before, like,
it's about
at all.
What happens after you die, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's The Good Place, you know, it's basically heaven. So
it sounds more like Lovely Bones kind of heaven, which is an intriguing concept to me.
I mean, well, yeah, but in the Lovely Bones, you could still like interact with the living. You could still see what was going on Earth, basically. And that doesn't. I don't think that's happening in the show, but yeah, it's really interesting. I really liked it. So check it out. But yes, it's one of those things that it's kind of taken off since they put it onto Netflix. So that's why you haven't heard of it, Amanda. It was just this like weird show that nobody was talking about or really watching. But it got like enough people watched it that it got picked up for a second season, but they just dumped the first season on Netflix because they were like, meh, whatever. And people started watching it and they were like,
people watch it.
Holy shit, this is really good. And so it kind of caught fire from there, and it's picked up a lot of speed since then. So, but yeah, fucking Kristen Bell is basically anything she's ever in it always turns out to be great.
I think that's why I had heard of it, because I have friends who are rabid fans of Kristen Bell's.
Oh, for sure.
So, and I enjoy sloths, so though I have not seen Veronica Mars, I do like Kristen Bell for that reason.
Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't seen Veronica Mars.
There's just a lot of TV shows I haven't seen.
Well, yeah, I hear you, but there's also like, it's only like 2.5 seasons. Like, as far as TV shows go, like, there's not a lot to it. And it's smart and it's well written and it's great characters. And it's just, and it kind like, so far it's withstood the test of time. Like, it's still really great. So if you're gonna
like Gilmore Girls, I remembered for a long time thinking I should watch this Gilmore Girls show. And then all of my friends were like, no, don't do it. It doesn't hold up well.
Yeah. Well, Gilmore Girls, I think, is great for what it is, but I don't think that's going to be your kind of show to begin with. But I think Veronica Mars is. It's smart. It's smart. So I dug it. So,
but yeah, it's just one of those. It's on my list. I just,
Well, move it up a little bit, will you please?
Certainly. Oh, and for some people in the chat were saying, so first off, yes, I know I should just stop reading fairy books, but sometimes it's not the fairy part that attracts me. It's the, you know, really well-written main character that I was curious about. I will read no more of them, though, unless the cat shit fairy is in them. And secondly, the name of the book that I unreservedly recommend is called The Uncertain Places, and it has a lot more to do with, like, your very dark kind of original Cinderella sort of fairy tales, actual fairies of various courts. First of all, I don't think the actual courts are in it or anything like that. They're not in it nearly to the same extent.
Okay, I can't put a moratorium on fairies in fiction or nonfiction or any sort of literature at all, but I can put a moratorium on fairy talk in this podcast. So we are done. No more responding to comments about fairies in the fucking chat room, Rissy.
There are fairies in our chat room. Get the flamethrower.
No more comments in the chat about fairies, god damn it. You fucking people. Anyway.
Well, since we're done talking about fairies,
yes.
I suppose it's time for this week's hashtag Dork Pride chat.
I would love to have a Dork Pride chat.
All right. Well, I actually wrote out the topic this week. I'd like to declare a decade-long moratorium on fairy stories, but what's a trope that you feel has been done to death and should be shelved for a good long while?
Does this have to be literature-wise, or can it?
No, it can be anything, like movies, TV, like any like kind of trope, or, you know, even a whole genre that you think is fucking over and just there's nothing new to be said about it, or at least there won't be anything new to be said about it without some serious distance. It can be a trope, a type, a character archetype, that kind of thing, like the formula of a movie, anything along those lines that just is done and needs to be just thunk. I also say zombie stuff should maybe take a breather for a while.
I'm with you on the zombie stuff. Like I'm still watching The Walking Dead, but mostly because Sean is.
Yeah.
Like I watched last week's episode and I was like, we're just doing the same things over and over again at this point. Like we're having the argument.
That's why I stopped watching it like a couple years ago, because I felt like that's
same here.
And I feel like we've had the argument of like, do we just kill people or do we try and, you know, be friends with them even if we know that they've done bad things sort of conversation. And I'm like, I feel like we've had this conversation multiple times,
right?
And we're doing it again.
Spoiler alert, the real monster was us all along.
Yeah, that is I mean, yeah, that's always I'm with you. Zombies for sure. For me personally, teen angst, all of it. Fucking get it out of here with your bullshit.
W shows for you then.
No.
Very much in line with that, I would say especially teen, but just in general, the whole love triangle thing.
Oh my god, yes. Fuck.
I'm okay with that.
I've never read a well-done love triangle, ever. I've never
I'm
once
sure
seen
there
that
are
trope
some
executed well.
out there that are okay, but they're probably very subtle because that's more how it would really be. There's not,
And
I just feel like most of them are either just like wanting to angst the fuck out over their unrequited love, or just like, oh my god, these two hot guys are totally in love with me. What am I supposed to do? I have to choose one.
Which really the solution is
have
sex with
bad
both
boy
of them,
or the good boy. I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, right.
What else do you do with two hot guys?
But they never pick that.
No, they don't.
But that's not ever what they choose, and it should be, because.
And well, really, the thing that disappoints me so much is none of them are ever actually they're never actual triangles, because the two, usually it's, you know, one woman and two dudes, at least in the literature and whatever I've been exposed to, the two dudes have nothing to do with each other except for their competition. A true triangle would involve relationships between all three people. They would all be connected in some way, and therefore everything would be much more.
Rissy, are you trying to mansplain love triangles to us?
I'm just saying what they should be, but they never are. Like, I've never seen that, except for in Jean-Paul Sartre's No Exit. That's the closest thing to a genuine fucking love triangle I've ever seen, and it's not really love per se, but yeah, because they're all in hell.
So it's a love V.
Yeah, it's a love V.
A love tripod.
Yeah, a love tripod.
Although a tripod would need a third dude also
leg,
interested in,
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I will, actually.
If there are any salient examples of that trope being executed decently, I would love to hear it, but otherwise, I don't believe they exist. I think a well-written love triangle is a cryptid. Oft documented, never actually seen. Certainly never captured on camera.
There you go.
I feel like if it's a true triangle where everybody's interested in everybody else, then how about everybody just fuck?
So there's that. Well, I mean,
happy.
Or rather, they don't all have to be sexually interested in each other. It can be one's into the other, who's into the other, who's into the other.
Right.
That kind of triangle, but not. They're not exclusively all into each other. Or
so that nobody's happy because.
Right. Or it can be an actual, like, the people have, like, deep relationships with each other within the context of one person wants another romantically, but but not all the relationships have to be romantic or sexual. They can be, you know, just really deep relationships. Like Jacob and Edward, not really friends with each other or anything that would make it interesting. Also, Bella there was never even a moment where it seemed like Bella was actually going to go for Jacob. Never actually a thing. That's always what happens in romantic love triangles. There's always the one dude that you know will win, and then the other guy.
Just to make sure to reiterate that the main character is totally hot and desirable and wanted by all the boys.
Yes.
And
usually the other guy will get some kind of consolation prize who is connected to the main character, but not the main character. Maybe even I've seen in some genre romance, they will get their own spin-off novel. Other guy and also ran main character clone get to star in their own book, and the series keeps on metastasizing. How about?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that
sounds
hot
happens. To me.
All right. Well, some people are saying, can we have threesomes with elves from Dragon Age? Well, yes, obviously. Like, I mean, I think that's much better than a love triangle.
Threesomes are very different from love triangles.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, they are.
Although, realistically, a threesome should be called a love triangle, not what we refer to as a love triangle.
True.
Oh, man, these are some really good ones in the chat. Disaster movies, particularly the end of the world kind, overdone. Yeah. Oh, humans only use 10% of their brains. Yes, fuck all of that noise.
That is frustrating. And it's especially frustrating because people still believe that. And the more we put out movies about it, the more these idiots are going to continue to believe it.
Like, but we learned how to tap into part of that, and now you have superpowers. It's like
that's not how that. Like, none of this is even true.
No.
What? No. Oh, yeah, it makes me crazy.
Actually, I would love to see, that's a trope that could be fun to subvert, where it's like a really short movie or maybe a short story where it's like, well, we found out how to tap into the rest of your brain, and then the person goes into sensory overload and dies.
Or they're just like, yeah, no, nothing is different. They're like, oh, the ability to tap into that 90% of your brain was there all along.
It was inside you, specifically your skull.
Yes.
Oh, we should make that too.
Yes. Romantic vampires, yes, agreed. Vampires should want to suck your blood, not be your boyfriend.
Why can't they do both?
Yeah, that's true. I feel like all vampires are kind of overdone right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like there couldn't be a fresh take on the trope, but I just haven't seen one in forever. Brooding anti-heroes, we've certainly had. What about Fi porn? F-Y-E?
I don't know what that is.
Wasn't that like the
bookstore, music
place
store
that sold CDs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they sold porn as well.
For your entertainment, I think.
For your entertainment?
Something like that.
Oh, Zack Snyder, fuck yes. Can he be done? I feel bad because of his kid, but also he should never direct another movie again. Edgy remakes of children's stories. Yes, that often intersects with edgy retellings of fairy tales, which have generally been done.
Retellings of something that wasn't really a story at all.
Like what?
Like such as?
Like the very, very short children's books that had, like, it should be a maybe 20-minute long thing, and they've made it into, you know, like The Hobbit, for one. That was one that was way overstretched. But that's Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, which was a really fun children's book, but like they really, and I actually enjoyed the movie, but it was one of those like, this is.
Oh yeah, I remember when it came out, I'm like, how are they filling a feat failed? You've gotten to experience all of these things because you had a kid and I aborted one, so I never.
Oh my
God.
Rissy, even people with abortions can go see animated movies.
No, that's not.
They're very progressive these days. They'll allow anybody in. So.
Nope. I tried to bring my abortion into the movie theater, but they refused to let me in.
Well, that's probably why they
it was
made
in a jar.
Because that's a little gross.
There's so much happening right here. I can't. Y'all are freaking me out. I got images of horrible things in my brain parts.
And the meatballs, right?
Somebody says the Saw movies. Yes, that like torture porn horror film. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. I don't need that. Yes, kill it.
Two-dimensional characters.
Because the only thing you can do is just try to be like more. You just have to, and it just gets ridiculous. So, like, stop trying to outdo what you've already done. Maybe just let it die.
So Elvis says, when hot people only get other hot people. Yes, I agree. Like when the fat person gets the hot person, it shouldn't be in a comedy sense. Exactly. I would like to see like movies where people just fall in love with each other organically and not stupidly because of miscommunication issues. But that like if some person is very hot and the other person is fat or whatever, does not conform to traditional Western standards of beauty, that it's not commented on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about their love overcoming the fact that the other person isn't considered fuckable to some part of the population.
Right.
Did they try taking their glasses off and putting on a little makeup because the hot person was inside of them all along?
Yeah. Well, she was wearing those overalls covered in paint splatters. How was I supposed to know she was actually good looking? Or like if
good looking is still good looking with glasses on. That doesn't make someone not good looking. That's one of those things where,
like, Hollywood, you're so dumb, so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Their idea of an ugly woman is Gwendolyn Christie. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, that's fair. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, so I think our work is done here. Hollywood, I hope you're listening. Stop it. Just fucking stop it.
I'm sure they are. They're taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to make another superhero movie.
They're just going to make all fairy movies from here on out.
Fairy movies with love triangles.
Fairy love triangles.
One character will say, he's the king of fairy and also my boyfriend. Damn author who wrote that book. I'd remember your name, but that would be too much effort. But you so...
What did Blythe say? No more.
Yeah, no more fairy
book talk.
That's right.
I break the rules. I do what I want.
Stop being racist. That's my safe word. That means she has to stop talking about it. Also, I'm going to make her stop talking about it because I'm going to say that's going to do it for this episode of the Dork Pridecast. This time for real. As always, of course, we want to give a big thank you to Sarah Donner for allowing us to use music off of her latest album, Black Hole Heart.
You can find the Damsels of Dorkington on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. You can also join our Facebook group by searching for Dork Pride worldwide.
Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Damsels of Dorkington, where besides becoming one of our favorite people, you can also get access to rewards that are only available there, such as being on the list of super awesome patrons that we thank at the end of this podcast. Like these people who we're going to talk about as if they are members of the fairy court. So we're going to give them all special fairy names.
Okay.
John Sprinkle Duty Hate. Mary Dawnflower Wolf Menstrual Blood Henderson. This is actually sounding a lot like Renaissance Festival character names. Joshua, King of Fairy, and also my boyfriend, Griffiths. Richard hates cold iron, but only in the butt. Hirsch. Josh and Jessica conjoined sparkly twins with wings, Rowell. And Sean Vine Strangulation Palmer.
What? Was that a fairy name?
Did you just want tentacle porn on
I don't
us?
understand what just happened. Did you have a
fairy names are like, like plants and flowers that you just kind of hack up and combine. I'm Lord Donrowan the Magnificent or whatever. So, I mean, there's vines and sometimes they strangle you if they're magic.
I mean, sure, why not? Amanda, do you want to start our list of other people we should thank?
Yeah, like Joseph Dandelion Flapjack Harris.
I love it.
That's pretty good.
We also would like to thank Darren Cookie Face Wilson.
That sounds like a mobster name, not a fairy court name.
Hey, look, bitch. If you got to say vine strangulation, I can say cookie face.
I don't know of any mobsters who strangle people with vines.
You don't know. There probably are some. April Doodlebug Barker.
I love it.
Yeah.
Stephen Anixia Kendall.
Oh, someone's
That's
cheating.
a World of Warcraft boss. She's a dragon. Go watch the Anixia White video. Still the greatest thing. Throw more dots. Okay, stop dots.
Okay, stop dots.
The great Luke Daisy Pancake Ski.
Wait, that's a lot like Dandelion Flapjack. Are they related?
I know.
They're like best friends.
Yeah, they are. They're cousins. I'm pretty sure.
We would also like to thank Jay Flower Hopper Teller. I don't read enough fairy books, clearly. Sorry.
You could just name some flowers.
I said flower hopper. What do you want from me? It literally had the word flower in it.
Oh, I meant like specific flowers, but sure.
You should have been more specific.
Hey, that's my thing. Specific. Okay. Wayne, Lily of the Valley, Waffles, Walls.
Also,
you may sense a theme here. That's what
I love it personally.
Yeah, this is pretty great.
Thank you to Eric Snapdragon Ruggles.
That's better.
Thank you. Fuck you. But thank you.
Thank you to Zachary Black-Eyed Susan French Toast Drake.
This is also starting to come out like Key and Peele's football names.
There are worse things to sound like.
It kind of is.
Thank you to Joe Basil Other Breakfast Item Louie.
Brandon, Violet, Katie, Morning Glory, and Thomas, other kind of flower, Carnation, Cronut, David.
Thank you to Jenny, Broccoli, and Ryan, Brussels Sprout, Wiedenbenner.
Man, these are like the kind of fairies kids' parents punish them with. The broccoli fairy's coming to see you tonight.
Also, Matt and Mattingly's Pansy, that's a flower. It's not a derogatory term. Pansy, Lotke, Ice Cream Social.
I love it. And last, but of course not least, thank you to Melody. Shit, I had something in my brain and it left. And now I got nothing.
No, that was it. That was it. Shit, I had something in my brain, but it left.
Glatzel Smith, yes. There you go. Thank you.
There you go. So thanks for joining us, everyone. This has been episode 65 of the Dork Pridecast. We will see you all next week.
Deuces!
Jetpack.